Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I am glad you're here. This is Crazything, the airbrush guy. That's right, you heard it correctly. I am Crazything, the airbrush guy. Thought I would shake it up a little bit, go live on my Facebook page for you. A lot of people over here don't get the opportunity to watch me airbrush live very often. So I thought I would give you that chance for anybody that wants it. See how long it takes you to guess what I'm airbrushing. Anybody got any guesses yet? Please put them in the comments. Anybody new watching me on Facebook or on YouTube, please make sure you Google search Crazythingart. You will find me absolutely everywhere. I do continuously push to get my artwork out, get it to be seen so that everyone can know I am a freehand airbrush artist. And this is my dream. It's been my dream for years and years to be an airbrush artist. And thanks to you, I get to do it every day. I get to live my dreams because of you, everyone that watches me, everyone that comments, everyone that talks about me, shares my work, and especially those that support me by going to my Etsy page. You can find my Etsy link if you need to by Googling Crazythingart. So how many of you have a guess on what this is? I do pay a lot of attention to the details. That's my favorite part, honestly. For anybody that is interested in knowing what I use the Iwata Eclipse airbrush gun to do all my airbrush projects. I use Createx paint and the Iwata Eclipse airbrush guns. No, I am not a sponsor, or don't have a sponsor, but I will shout them out because their products are really good to me. Now, how many of you have a guess on what this is? What am I airbrushing? Has anyone figured it out yet? Again, I am a freehand airbrush artist, and what that means is I do not use stencils. I did not draw this on here first. I did not use a projector to project the image on here. I did not trace it out. I simply look at a picture and go from there. I will look at a picture and airbrush a likeness of absolutely anything. It will be artist interpretation. So it'll be, it'll be what I see when I look at it. And then take that and portray it through my airbrush gun onto whatever it is you're having me airbrush on. Which could be anything. Anything that'll sit still long enough. Because that's what I do. I airbrush on anything that sits still long enough. That's right, you heard me correctly. And I mean that. I have airbrushed on almost everything you can imagine. And I bet I've airbrushed on a few things you can't even imagine. My brain can't even remember all the different things I've airbrushed on. But typically I do canvases like this. Also do clothing like shirts, hoodies. I've done several pairs of shoes as well. So I can do anything from your hat all the way down to your shoes and everything in between. I have airbrushed jackets and purses. I've done several cars and trucks and tailgates and hoods, motorcycles and helmets. I even airbrush buildings, do license plates, tote bags, airbrush on craft pumpkins. I airbrush on signs, aluminum and metal. Anything that'll sit still. It doesn't matter if it's plastic, if it's wood. I've done ceramic tiles. Of course, the cloth of about any kind of cloth. Fabrics, leather. I've airbrushed on lots of leather jackets. So my intentions with this one, when I get done with the video here, however long it ends up taking, my goal will be to download this video and put it onto my YouTube channel. So if you're coming in late or you're watching it later, it will be available for the full video on YouTube. My YouTube channel is, of course, Crazythingart on YouTube. If you're not a subscriber, be sure and check that out. Social media has been kind of crazy lately. There's a lot of talk about things being shut down and this working and that not working, and I don't know what's going to happen. So I'll try to be a little bit of everywhere for you guys, because no matter what, this is my dream right here. You're watching me fulfill my dreams right here in front of you. And I absolutely love it, guys. I do. It's such an honor to be able to airbrush for you guys. But I can't do it without you. But I can promise you, whatever social media is working, I will be on it. I know this is very tedious work at times. I realize it's not for everybody. I know that it's not something that everybody wants to sit down and watch. But I do know there's people out there that tell me all the time, you know, I want to watch you airbrush. So I'm trying to make it where that's possible. I'm trying to make it where maybe if you're not on one platform, you can watch me on another platform. So that way you can have it either way you want. You can either watch me airbrush live like this, or you can watch a recorded video of me airbrushing. And if you don't want to do that, you can see the end results from the posts that I make after I get done airbrushing something. It's completely up to you. I want to be versatile. I want to be able to make it work no matter what. Fill all your requests that way. That's my goal. Some people find it soothing, almost the ASMR vibe, I guess, whenever they watch me airbrush. And other people, it bores them to death, and I can understand that. I thought for years and years, that nobody would ever want to watch me do this. I'm like, there's no way. It takes so much time for me to do something. There's no way that somebody would want to watch that. Like, so I never made videos of myself. I thought that was crazy. Why would I video myself creating something? Nobody's going to see it. Nobody wants to watch it. But there are a select few out there that actually enjoy it. So, that's what I'm doing. I think it helps too. The more I practice, the faster I get at it, even with all the details. So, you know, a couple years ago, this might have been a 4-hour video. Where now I can do it probably in an hour or so. And of course, that's a big difference. Especially in this society we're in, everybody wants everything as fast as they can get it. It's so difficult for people to sit down and slow down long enough to enjoy something. I really appreciate those that can. And I understand it. I get very, very busy myself. So I can relate. Trying to run a business and family and friends. And it's a lot. Run a household. But I enjoy every minute of it thanks to you guys. You guys are 100% correct. This is an elephant. I know that you guys can see that now. And I'm making one of these because I've sold several and I don't have any in stock. And it occurred to me that I needed to make another one. So I decided to make it here for you guys. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get to watch at least a few minutes of it and see the process and see the work that goes in, and maybe you can appreciate the time and the effort and the work and the skill that it takes. A lot of people don't understand the process, so maybe this will help people to understand what I do and how I do it. I enjoy working with pictures like this that have a lot of details in it, things I can capture with my airbrush gun. And every comment you guys make for me, that helps. So I appreciate the comments in the chat while I do this. I may not be able to communicate back with you currently, so I can get through this in a timely manner, but I can check them out and respond at a later date once I'm off the live. And every comment is appreciated. The more the merrier. Water time. For anybody that's watching this for technique or learning how to airbrush themselves, a lot of airbrush artists do not like working from black. And I am just the opposite. Black is my absolute favorite. I would rather create something out of nothing in a heartbeat. I'm not a huge fan of the color. I would rather use black and white any day, so this works out really great for me, especially an image like this. Today, when I make this video, it is actually the 14th of March. I don't know when everyone will get to see this, because I know there'll be people watching it at a later date on my YouTube, provided that I can figure out how to download it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. It really stinks whenever you go to plan it that way and tell everybody that's what you're doing and you can't get it to work. But I am not a computer whiz. I am an airbrush guy. Many days I have to juggle both, but most days I do okay at it, I guess. Always learning more. Try to keep up with the times. I know that was my 60-gallon DeWalt air compressor you just heard on video. It is unavoidable. It comes on about every 30 minutes or so of airbrushing, if I'm airbrushing constantly. And it'll run for a couple minutes and shut back off. So apologize for the interruption, but I do have to have it. Can't really airbrush without the air. Doesn't work very well. For anyone interested, I generally run about 25 psi on my airbrush guns. I recommend anybody to be able to maintain 30 psi when you're looking for equipment. You need to not just top out at 30 psi, but maintain it. You need to keep it constantly. Otherwise, you're going to run into a lot of issues. Lately, I have been airbrushing live on my TikTok daily, usually 4 or 5 days a week, sometimes 6, 7 days a week. But I wanted to come over here and start crossing over into some of the other social medias to see how they're going to do. Make sure everything's still working. Make sure that if I need to, I can come over here in the blink of an eye and start streaming. And so far, so good. Everything seems to be working. I definitely don't have the following over here because, you know, the Facebook is so used to posts versus live streams, so it takes a while to build that kind of stuff up, and I understand that. You got to start somewhere. I haven't done a whole lot of YouTube lives or Facebook lives. Most of my YouTube lives are actually giveaways that I do from time to time. If there's anybody on here that don't follow my TikTok, as long as I still have it, I will be doing giveaways there. Usually once a week we do giveaways on my TikTok. And I guess if that goes away, I'll be doing them either over here or on my YouTube. So you want to make sure that you are a part of that. Make sure you're following me on the YouTube. Search Crazythingart. Go to Google. Google search me. Google search Crazythingart. You'll find me everywhere. And I mean it, like everywhere. I even think I have a Twitter account that it wouldn't let me delete for whatever weird reason. I tried to, but it still says it's there, so I don't know. I haven't decided if I wanted to start it back up or not. But as you come in and see what I'm doing, you can say hello. Every comment helps. I do appreciate it. Please drop something in the chat for me. Let me know you were here, so when I come back and rewatch this, I'll be able to see who all was here and who all was talking and who all was helping. I do these test lives from time to time. But I will be able to go back in here and check out the comments and like the comments, and just like on YouTube, whether you're watching this on live Facebook like I am currently, or if you're going to be watching it later on my YouTube channel. For any of you that have requests for something you'd ever like to see me airbrush, make sure you comment that as well. You ever see anything that, oh, I bet that would look cool, you know, shoot me a request. You never know, I may do it. That's the whole reason that little guy back there, that little blue guy, he exists because of everybody else saying that that's what they wanted to see. Well, there he is. They wanted to see what he would look like airbrushed, and now they can see it. And I did that strictly because it was requested. You never know what I'm going to do next. I usually don't know what I'm going to do next half the time, so there's no way for you to know. I know it's time consuming, but I do enjoy airbrushing all these details. Sometimes when I get to airbrushing, I forget I'm on video and the world just disappears. I love it. You get in that zone. You ever do that with something? You ever get in a zone and just, it's like you're not really concentrating, but yet you are all at the same time? It's so weird. It's like I know I'm focused or I wouldn't be able to do it, but at the same time, like, time just disappears. Like, it doesn't matter if it's 1:30 in the afternoon or if it's 4 o'clock. I mean, none of that matters. It doesn't. You're not paying attention to your screen quality and how many comments there are. Just get to focusing on what I'm doing and what's my next move and where my airbrush needs to go next, and I love it. I think the longest I've ever airbrushed at one time was 14 hours. That was on a motorcycle. Yeah, I really needed it done by a show for the weekend. He was going to clear coat it. So we needed, in order to have time to get it all done and clear coated and put back together on the bike and put it all together and polish it up and take it and clean it and get it to the show, I didn't have any time. So I had no choice but to get it done. Boy, did I do it way too cheap. Back when I was starting out. That's usually the case, though. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to get your name out there. Sometimes. Sure done a lot of free work back then. But also wasn't full time. That makes a big difference. Being full time, I can't do the free work anymore. I got bills to pay. Back then, I had a full time job and was doing it on the side, so you can kind of pick and choose a lot differently what you wanted to do for free or discount or something. Hope it's looking good so far. Appreciate everybody that's watching. Thanks again for all those comments. They all help. Anytime you see my work on any platform, feel free to comment anything you want. The comment doesn't even have to be important, but the comment itself, because you did it, will help me out. So the actual context of it, if you don't know what to put or you can't think of anything to put, just put hashtag Crazythingarmy or something on there, and any of that will contribute and help push my post or my video out there for other people to see, because it's that activity that helps to push it out. If you post something and it doesn't get any activity, then it's not going to go anywhere. The app or the platform won't push it out. Try to show a shadow back here behind the leg. You just get enough of the legs to let you know they're there. Make it look like the light has just barely grazed them. There won't be a lot of detail seen in here because of the light source coming in. But you don't want it to be completely void either, so you want to put a few little hints of something back there. I realize a lot of these little details don't even pick up on camera, but in person when they get these, they can see them. They tell me that a lot of people that gets my work like, wow, you know, didn't realize it looked like this in person. It looks so much better. But camera isn't always friendly. Trying to work on some of the highlights now where I thought, or where I think the light itself will hit the brightest. Kind of going back and hitting some of those spots. I know you won't be able to see a lot of them as I'm doing them right now, so it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but those spots will come out later, especially once the clear coat hits it. A lot of those spots will be more visible. You'll be able to see the work that I put in. We'll go over some of the darker lines on the trunk real quick. Make sure those pop out really well. So when I tell people that my airbrush work is 100% freehand, I mean it. No stencils, no projectors. There's nothing here but my airbrush gun. Now there's people that use like erasers. They can scratch their canvases with different kind of tools to get certain looks that they want to achieve, and that's all great. You know, it's whatever you got to do. You didn't airbrush it. Once you start using all these other tools, don't tell me that, you know, it's all airbrushed. It's the only thing a lot of people, it's kind of deceiving, you know. Mine is 100% airbrushed. You watched me do it. You witnessed it yourself. But that also includes my signature. I will sign this canvas with my airbrush gun. There you go. Now this one's finished. It's complete. It's done. All I got to do is clear coat it here in a few minutes. After I've let it sit and dry for a little bit. I'm going to shoot it with clear coat. I'll send the picture over to Beth. She will put it on my Etsy page for anybody that wants to purchase it. So if you're interested and you watch this, especially if you watched it live, if you want it, go to my Etsy page later today. Keep an eye out for it. If you want it and it's gone, I know the guy that makes these. I know him personally. So if you need me to make you one, no problem. Everything's done on my Etsy page. For now, I'm going to go. I don't know how long we've been on, but I've got to download this video, send it over to my YouTube, see if I can get all that going. But for now, I'm going to go, but I will see you guys in the next one.